Welcome to episode 77 of Real Voices of Happy Valley. In this episode, Dave talks to the magnificent Mary Clear of Todmorden, community activist. Mary was a founder of Incredible Edible, where spare public spaces were planted with fruit, vegetables and herbs for people to help themselves. It has since grown in every sense and now provides meals, which Mary will talk about. Mary has been involved in lots of community projects and believes in the power of kindness and that good happens when people get together and help each other. She describes her work as the power of small actions. Lovely phrase, and here she is talking to Dave.
I'm sitting here in my living room with Mary Clear, community activist of Todmorden, mostly, other parts of the valley too. Now, Mary, you've been involved in all kinds of things. We'll start with the obvious one. I think everybody knows about Incredible Edible. You were in on that at the beginning?
Yes, I've done my bird. And I'm really, really happy to know we found a facilitator who would do it for free, and we worked on a way to transition to a new group of people. So it's great. I've been able to step down and go back as an active participant, as opposed to worrying about participation. And it has actually completely changed the dynamic. There are more men and more younger people. So it's a miracle. It was absolutely right for me to step down.
Which is what you need in any kind of community activity, is for
change.
Younger people to take it in and new people to take it on. And a slight change in the demographic by the sound of it, with more men getting
fantastic.
involved.
So, it's all... And a lot of people, the naysayers said, it's all based on personality. Rubbish. I knew that was never true, and the only way to prove it is to step down and let other people take the reins.
But you've been a community worker for a long time, so you know that that's a frequent accusation that
I do.
It's all based upon that one person.
Yes.
And it very rarely is, because if it was based on one person, it wouldn't last very long.
Exactly.
So
or I'd give it to them. They'd be very special people if they could do that.
Yes, good. And are you pleased with how it's gone then, obviously?
Oh, incredibly pleased. Really, really pleased. And just to go, and I've always urged, especially the people that have got a downer on it, go on a Sunday for lunch. It's free to anybody. Anyone can walk in off the street. And when you see 40 to 50 people eating fantastic food, and you see the variety from people who've got no language at all, unable to speak, to people in their 70s, people, tiny babies, toddlers running around. It's a great, diverse, fantastic group. And seeing is belief. I'm a great believer in that. Don't write articles, get publicity to say how great you are. Open the door. Just tasting their food. They've recruited most probably the best cooks in the valley, so it's wonderful.
And the best fresh food. So where does this happen on Sunday? Is this the college?
This happens at Todmorden Community College, which also, I've got to plug it, because if you haven't been in there, it is unbelievable. And I remember the battle to get control of that, where various people in positions of power voted to sell it for £1 to Audi for their car park extension, and that the community could never run such a big building. And that big building is amazing.
Yes, never underestimate the people of Todmorden.
Absolutely, it's incredible.
Because it was a big worry. I know people who were doing art courses there at the time, fearing it was going to be closed. There was announcements that it was going to be closed, as you say. I didn't realise they got that far.
And it was run down.
To do that deal.
Calderdale had just not invested in it for years. It was shockingly run down. So the fact that anybody dare take it on is incredible.
And there's lots and lots of things going on there.
It's just a hive.
Yeah.
Even during the building work, they had to reroute people from the normal entrance. And then they used boards to steer the people through the hall where about 50 people at all these tables were playing ping pong. I said, I can't believe you've got a ping pong club going and the place is crawling alive with builders and decorators. It's exceptional.
And there's all the making and the repairs and things.
The makery. Oh, I'm a great fan. In fact, I'll just get a plug for this. I pay £10 a month standing order, and it's such a simple thing to do. To think that you can go to the makery, you can get free paint, you even get a free paintbrush. They've got a paint recycling, they've got a tool library, which is a separate entity. You can use industrial sewing machines, they've got a laser printer. I mean, it's incredible. In a tiny town.
Yes, I know. I mean, Viv first came across that when she got, I think it was a coat which she just fell in love with in one of the charity shops, but wasn't going to fit her. And she went down there and said, can anyone make this fit me? And they said no, but we can show you how to do it.
It's incredible.
A much better answer.
And bikes. I just have to say about bikes, not being a bike rider, but my daughter's got 3 little boys. She's on her own. She can never keep up with bikes. And she can go there. And some beautiful people will fix the punctures, alter the brakes, provide the spares. And you can either make a donation or not make a donation. And I think of all the parents, how that really must get them out of a scrape, knowing their kids' bikes are safe.
Yes, and it's also one of the important things I've seen. I was a community worker in various North Manchester towns and areas for a long time, that people want to help each other, particularly when it comes to retirement, which I've only done fairly recently. You've got lots of people with lots of skills, whether the sort of sewing skills or industrial skills or sort of woodworking, carpentry skills. And hardly anybody wants to just stop and watch daytime television when they've got those skills.
Oh, you just reminded me, they've very recently opened a fully equipped machine shop for woodwork. So you pay to do a course, you do that course, while you're doing the course and cutting the timber and using the high-tech gear, you actually make a free little library for a community. So you're actually producing something while learning to use the machines, and then that entitles you to go in and to be able to book that wood machine shop.
So those little boxes, the free library boxes, that's where they come from?
Yes, well, that's where they come from now. I'll tell you a lovely story, because if I'm proud of anything, I'm super proud that we have, Todmorden has the most free little libraries per head of population than anywhere in the whole world.
Really?
During lockdown, for some strange reason, the police said to me, Mary, you do realise that Incredible Edibles exempt from meeting if you meet outdoors because you're promoting mental health. And I thought, I was hoping for a little time off. But anyway, so we thought, what will we do? So we did a lot of gardening, but we also used the Unitarian Church, and we met the most fantastic guy. called Silent Dave, Dave Badrick. He had some cancer in his throat, so he couldn't speak. And Dave led the way in making the little libraries. And then when artists came forward and said, can we paint the little libraries? And then a team came forward and said, because we thought, should we ask the council? We'll do naughty but nice. And we'll concentrate on areas where maybe people can't get to a library, like Ashenhurst, Longfield, so we'll offer. And we genuinely thought, okay, it'll last a year. And here we are with all of these little libraries. But here's the genius thing. If you look on the Facebook page, you'll see people communicate, say, I've got boxes. Could somebody, the door's off at the library on the towpath, or the roof's leaking on a library. None of it is organised by any one person. It just happens. The library in Fielding Square, where I live, maybe goes through...
That's where the Golden Lion is.
Where the Golden Lion is. That library maybe goes through 100 books a week, and book fairies bring them. People with little obsessive tendencies call and order the books. It is absolute. I mean, that is magical. A whole community is organising its own libraries with 100% support from Calderdale Libraries.
Oh, that's good.
Because they say it's reading. Reading is magic.
Yes.
The more people, and young kids use them, older people use them. It's truly, it's a thing of wonder.
There's one when I walk down into the town centre, and there's one there, and I always have a look in there.
Yes.
And very rarely do you see the same book for more than a week or so.
And people leave little toys in there, and little presents, tins of beans, all sorts of wonderful stuff gets left in there.
Yes.
And I think it's absolutely the evidence of the kindness of this town. I really believe that.
I mean, I agree with you. I've lived here for just under 2 years now, probably. And you used to see these signs saying kindness, and I always think, well, that's nice. But it's actually, once you live in Todmorden, you realise it's a sort of, it's a mission statement, but it's also a description of just what happens.
And it's a word that has power. Kindness does have power. In a really trumped up, messed up world, maybe it's the only thing we can do to have hope as well. So it's a word attached to hope, and it's a word with power.
And we have the Kindness Cafe as well.
We have the Kindness Cafe offering a fantastic service. I've got a friend who does free Reiki in there 1 day a week. I mean, it is just we're blessed, aren't we? And we've got artists producing posters and tea towels and coasters, things with kindness on it. It's just superb.
The only problem I've ever come across with the Kindness Cafe is it's always so full. You sometimes have to wait for a seat.
And because all of the people working there are in recovery. So, when it first opened, I spent many weeks just saying to people, I know it's difficult, but for these people, this is some of them, the first time they've ever had to do this kind of work. And it's very popular. And I think the magic of the word brings people in.
Yes.
I mean, you could be a bastard and have a cafe and call it the Kindness Cafe. But we're lucky. These are genuinely kind people. I would be most hurt if that did happen. So,
I'm sure some bastards have tried to come up with nice words for the companies and the cafes and things. But I mean, there are plenty of really nice cafes
Yes.
around and about, aren't they? There's generally a nice atmosphere in them.
Yes.
I don't know how many of them are run by bad people.
And the ice cream parlour. They've set up an ice cream parlour now. So that's lovely too.
Yes. It sounds good. And other things, you're saying you're involved with Pushing Up Daisies?
Pushing Up Daisies.
Do you want to tell us what that is? What that's about?
Pushing Up Daisies is we've only got one mission, and kindness is our currency. We're not grant funded. We've just like Incredible Edible, doesn't take public money. We use kindness to get where we want. Tomorrow we've got a meeting in a guy's house because that's how we're going to have to do it, because there is no money to pay for these things. We're interested in creating conversations about death and dying. So we're put on events, we have films. Tomorrow is called Grief Encounters, where anybody and we're all on the same road, we're all going there, we're all going to feel it sooner or later. Anybody who's got some issues with grief can just come along and share it with other people.
And like you say, we've got those issues, we've had those issues, we're going to have those issues. It's
Absolutely.
Nobody's exempt from this.
Absolutely. And we want to demystify the whole business of death and dying, because it's traditionally been held by the church as an institution in charge of all burials, ceremony, everything. That's completely changed in the last decade. And demystify what happens in a hospice, what happens in hospital. So we don't take a public view, we have our individual views, say on the assisted dying bill and various other aspects of how you can die if you want to. And what has sprung out of Pushing Up Daisies is a network of people to support people who want to die at home, who might be lonely. So most people have heard of Dear John Mounsey, who was the last person the community supported, and there's an award-winning film being made about that, which will soon, I think, be available for everybody to see.
Oh, right.
So it's created an informal network of people who can shop, drive, take to appointments, make meals for people, and generally support people that want to die on their own terms in their own home. Which
is important, regardless of what people think about the sort of recent or ongoing discussions about the legislation. Everybody thinks that there should be some dignity. Yeah.
The dignity is very important.
And you should have, or be allowed to have, some involvement if possible.
Absolutely.
In how you go yourself.
And to be able to stay at home, which for a lot of people, especially people with pets, people on their own, with animals. John had four sheepdogs who, he wasn't going to go into hospital and leave his dogs. That was not going to happen. Yeah. So it is very important that because the state is not the state that you and I grew up with. The hospice for us, which is in Calderdale, has only got 12 beds. The idea that you can ring up, hi, have you got a bed? It's a lottery who gets anything. And we have not got the resources available anymore. So people need to wake up and be more resilient and be more community-minded. And there's no greater place to do that than here.
All the things you are involved in and all the things you have been involved in have that sort of common trait. Let's perhaps rely on each other.
Not the state.
Not rely on the state.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you're absolutely right. The state
Well,
what the government provided
but
40
you're
years
also-
ago is so different now.
You're also enacting a political agenda.
Yes.
So if we, PUDS is really, really famous. So that's what we say shorthand for pushing up daisies. Other people have seen our model and recreated it, but with money. And we say, well, then you would, if you took that money from the local council, from the NHS, you would have to tick boxes. And we're not going to tick any boxes. We're going to be free to express our aims and objectives.
It's about doing it yourself, or
And being
rather
sustainable.
yourselves.
Being sustainable.
Yes.
We owe it to each other as humans to be more helpful. And it can happen, and it can happen with joy.
And this town's a great example of that.
Absolutely.
Yes, people have come to hear and taken ideas away
Yes.
and tried it themselves. Whether it's pushing up daisies, or even the UFO meeting of people have come and said, because that's a great thing, because you have an experience, you go there, you talk to people about your experience, they talk about it. Nobody says, you must be mad.
No.
As somebody outside might say.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you've got so in the Golden Lion, which obviously is a community hub, you've got the menopause meetings, you've got stand-up poetry, you've got mental health stuff, you've got all the various minority groups that want to do their thing in there. You've got a jumble sale every month.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a great example of have some space that's free for the community. Brilliant things will happen.
Yes. If you make sure, if you've got the space and the people, anything can be achieved.
And it's kind of all happened at once. We've all of a sudden got the most amazing vicar. She's called Catherine.
Oh, yes.
For St. Mary's. She just said, oh, pushing up daisies, I'm a great supporter. Yes, I'll be involved. So we say, well, we're going to have people dressed up in quite scary costumes, doing some very primitive dancing. We're going to burn letters to the dead. She said, yes, I'll help with that. And you're thinking, there you are, surrounded by all this kind of pagan imagery. And there she was, adding the letters to the fire and saying, oh, if ever you need a meeting space, I'm sure it's part of the church's work to help you with that.
Absolutely.
I mean, wow.
And it's not just the state that's changed, but the Church of England.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all good things, really.
Yes, absolutely. Anything else you've been involved in recently you want to mention?
Oh, yes. Let me tell you about swimming.
Oh, go on.
So, I met a woman, Silent Dave's wife. She went swimming every morning to help her get out of bed. Say, well, then I'm out of bed. Because it's so lonely without Dave. I said, wow, swimming for grief, I'll come with you. I'll be your swimming buddy. Both of us useless, totally useless swimming. We're in the water at 7:30 a.m. and we swim for exactly an hour. And I think Hannah is about 74 and I'm 70. We're in the slow lane, renamed the Staying Alive lane, or the Coughing Dodgers, and all the others are all, in the medium and fast lane. And over that 2 years of swimming every day, my life has been transformed. It's like the most amazing club. There's people with shocking illnesses. There's people really struggling to keep fit at an older age. There's people who have had prostate cancer. There's people caring for relatives. And there's just laughter and comradeship, and there's something about being semi-naked in a public place which is a great leveller. Then we discovered the steam room. Well, in there, the conversations we have, it might be yesterday really was about, I think it was about ladybirds and earwigs and the power of fear when you're a child, but there's politics going on, and we just all learn so much about everything. So I'd say to anyone who's feeling a bit peely-wally or unsure, that if you come early morning, you will be embraced with kindness and love in our lane. As there is love in our lane. We cheer when someone's back if they've been away. We worry about people when they're ill. It is a beautiful thing.
Thank you very much. I mean, you are a fantastic advocate
for swimming,
community and community activity generally, whether it happens to be swimming, sewing, working in industrial workshops or whatever. As long as you're doing it with other members of your community, it just helps physically, economically.
It's the power of small actions, isn't it?
Yes.
And to do things ourselves.
Yeah. Because
let's say Farage does get in. We're all up the creek without a paddle, so get on with it now.
Yeah, let's say that doesn't happen.
Yes, yes.
Thank you,
Dave.
Thank you
that
very
was great.
much, Mary.
Very good.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect.